Silly Songs with Pact Boon. The part of the show where we get together and sing some silly songs.
Backpack.
And all of them are not public domain. This is a very silly show where nothing serious happens and nothing happens to any of the characters. And now that show's over, and now we're back into the Pact Boon where stuff gets real. Okay, gang? Lock in. Because previously on the Pact Boon, stuff went down. I'm your Dungeon Master, Jake. And with me,
Tanner Wayland.
Caden Otley.
Justin Lewis.
awesome. Justin didn't hear any of that because he doesn't have headphones on. He can't hear us.
So, if you want to help me out, subscribe to whatever we have because I can't hear anything.
I don't know why you said that. That's not what we said.
I can't hear, so didn't hear that.
The truth is, he's on timeout. He said
Absolutely
some things
right.
he shouldn't have said.
He's been canceled
As
by
per
us.
usual.
This was the punishment we discussed with him before this.
Correct.
Honestly, not that bad.
Should have taken his
gosh.
mic away.
Yeah.
Honest,
Amen.
Just make me like,
watch out, bucko, or your mic goes next.
I kill the enemy.
No,
Sorry.
not likely.
That wasn't even sign language.
Not likely. Yeah, it's true.
Previously on the Pact Boon,
Just edit all that out.
the heroes set out a plan to assault one Sheriff Don Talaab of Crestor, an oppressive and intimidating figure. Armed with some help, Nadir and Sirocco of the Rakir, traveling people of the desert. A trap of sorts was prepared. The trap of sorts worked. Of sorts. It blew up. It blew up big. Mortally wounding our heroes, they fell at the feet of the now flying Sheriff Don Talaab, who took a fatal blow on Elon, caving in his chest with his mighty hammer. Help from the people of Crestor from above sailed down in the form of arrows and cantrips. Sirocco and Nadir jumping into the fray, two of Nadir's drakes being eviscerated by the power of the lethargy, and Sirocco spending one of his precious third-level spells to try and revivify Elon, as it was thwarted by two natural ones on death saves. Truly heartbreaking. We ended the session with Sheriff Don taking some heavy blows as his body began to absorb the power of this crystal and transform. A tall figure, about 15 feet in height, broad shoulders, just the right amount of stubble to be handsome with it, but not look unkempt. His cowboy hat, his sheriff's star, golden glittering wings. As the feathers start to fall off of the wings and are replaced by a giant hand emerging from his back, a pair of hands emerging from his collarbone, strangling himself, his mouth opening wider and wider, another mouth opening in his chest, lined with rows of teeth. His legs start to distort and break the bones in them and form these terrible, disfigured stumps. Sheriff Don is dead, but something is still alive and threatens you now. We're going to re-roll initiative. Wow. First act is Wolfgang on death's door, bleeding profusely. Standing before you is this monster of a man. If you could even use that term, what do you do?
So what's the city like around me?
destroyed.
Just wrecked.
Yeah, effectively, you've cleared it out, right? There was this explosion, a perfect sphere that even carved into the face of the cliff. The house is obliterated. The sand cast aside. There's rock, there's rubble, but there is no cover anymore after that explosion.
So I'm Wolfgang's looking. He's like, he looks around. He's halfway down. And he's like, okay, this is rough. And I thought he was dead, but he doesn't appear to be. So then the question is, like, how his dead body's back alive. Does it look tough? That's what he's wondering.
Yeah. Give me a insight check. We'll give it with insight check.
19.
19, yeah. Kind of your assessment of... We'll use some ranger skills here, right? Like this kind of is a little bit of that primeval awareness.
Yeah.
That you're kind of gauging the battle aptitude of this individual, and you get the sense that there isn't a whole lot of battle strategy to a creature like this. You are immediately brought back to the scorpion, right? The skelescorpion in the field, where there wasn't a lot of strategy, but there is power here.
Yeah. Okay, well, so I'm there. I'm going first, and how close am I?
We'll say 20 feet.
20 feet. Okay. With that being the case, he's got his pistol. He's going to fire 3 times because it's his first turn.
Baller. Fire 3 shots, baby.
And do I get advantage?
I don't believe so.
So let's see. Dagger of Warning warns you while the weapon is on your person, you have advantage on just initiative rolls, not on that. That's fine. I didn't need it. Okay, 18.
That'll hit. Yes.
And then final shot, 19.
Wait, what was your first shot?
It was a 10.
Oh.
Yeah. Not good.
On the first one, I don't know if you remember, but as part of your Dread Ambusher, you add an extra D8 to that.
Nice.
Of damage. So your damage die plus a D8. I assume you Hunter's Marked this guy.
I did, yes. I mean,
Well,
I did it.
The Hunter's Mark would carry over.
I'd hope so. Perfect. I love it. So, with that being the case, I've got 2 shots that hit. Okay, so far, before any Hunter's Mark damage, it's 18.
Okay.
And then with a Hunter's Mark, it is plus 9. So that is 18 plus 9. 27. Okay.
Alrighty.
And then with the Dread Ambusher, can do an extra D8.
On top of all that?
Yeah.
All right.
Buddy, that was before any of that.
Wolfgang, who?
Okay, and then 7. So 27 plus 7.
Excellent.
34.
34 points of damage. Dang. 2, well, I guess a third one goes off, but doesn't find purchase into his body. The 2 shots rippled right into both shoulders, knocking him back and then casting him aside on the other one. You see that they're on his twisted, broken face. These lifeless eyes. There is no expression of pain as these shots bury themselves into this nasty body. Would you like to use any of your movement or do anything else?
Yes, I would like to get 10 feet further away.
Intelligent.
Yeah, so
You
I'm
make
within
yourself-
30 feet,
Okay.
and that's that.
I love it. Next, we will come back to Jolly.
How far away am I from him?
We'll call it 20 feet the other way.
And are there any people in between me and him?
No.
Cool. So it's just him. And then what's on the other side of him?
So standing on, well, basically on his back is Nadir. He dug 2 of his daggers onto his back, and then his 2 drakes are kind of harrowing him on the back of his legs.
Okay. I am going to as I'm going to yell to Nadir, Nadir, move! Get your creatures out of there! And then I'm going to essentially cast Tasha's Caustic Brew as a held action for when they're gone, because I don't want to hurt them. Because it goes 30 feet in a line.
Okay.
So once he moves, then it's just going to... And that's at second level, by the way.
Great. All right. We'll go off of that as soon as they are able to move. Sirocco is going to look down at the dead body of Alon and look to you, Jolly, and like have a look of like, I don't know what to do.
I think it would like slow-mo move down, and like if it was a cinematic, it would see like Jolly like looking angry, and then like the flash to Sirocco, and then it flashes back to Jolly, and Jolly's just like fear and like tears in his eyes or something like that, and Jolly doesn't respond.
Sirocco this is not good, gang. He's going to, with his third and final third level spell, look at the lethargy that has left a scar where Sirocco put his hand to cast Revivify, and clenches jaw, and you see the orcish nature of him kind of take over, and he will cast Spirit Guardians. And naturally, of course, you will all be protected from that. As erupting out of him in pools of his own blood, as he has 1 hit point, coalesce into spiky shards of bloody crystal that cascade and whip around him in a frenzy, hitting Sheriff Don, who's going to make a save and fails. So he will take 3d8 necrotic. Ooh. He takes 17 points of necrotic damage, which he is not resistant to. As Sirocco lets out a bellow deep within his chest, and his own blood becomes his weapon. That is Nadir's turn. He will make a couple of quick whistling sounds, and he will basically command his drakes to split away. They're still going to stay around Sheriff Don, but basically open you up for your shot.
Yeah. And as Jolly sees this, he'll kind of like on his left arm gauntlet kind of move some pieces, like if there was like a game board on there almost, and then from his feet like this opalescent energy comes and like erupts up through his body to his right arm, and then it fires this like opalescent line of goop that has a purplish tinge to it, and he has to do a dex save.
Oh my goodness. He fails.
16 is the...
Yeah, that was a 4.
Cool. So...
I'm going to make a wisdom check.
Okay.
That's also a 4. He does not burn a legendary resistance.
Wow.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
Cool. Also, just so you know, he will take 2d4 acid damage at the start of each of his
because it
turns,
stays on him.
unless he uses his action to get it off.
Ooh.
So,
Okay.
This time, because I did it at level 2, so 2. Actually, sorry, it's 44.
44 at the top of his
Yeah.
turn.
So 2, 3,
Gnarly.
5, and 9. So 9 points of acid damage.
Excellent. All right. You shoot out this florp onto him that is glowing, that starts burning into his skin. And again, no recognition of pain comes across his face. But it is sticking to any item of clothing that is left and burning away chunks of skin. You see what falls off turns to that gray matter and then to ash as it falls below. Nadir will, with the rest of his movement, get back in and close again with Sheriff Dawn, wielding these 2 scimitars. And take 2 strikes. First one hits. Second one definitely hits. Ooh, baby. Can't forget his own hunter's mark damage. Okay. He doesn't do as much as Wolfgang, but he ain't too shabby. Another 21 points of slashing damage as he does these flurry of slashes across the chest and back of Sheriff Dawn. Again, no recognition of pain. And the people of Crestor are going to make a wisdom saving throw, basically against the frightened condition, as this creature that was their oppressor is now the most horrifying image they have ever seen in their life. And on a natural 1, Elon's 6 persuasion is just not going to be enough. You see that Jezri up top is trying to rally these people, but they are still so shooken up seeing this demented monster. And you see in her mind as well, she actually makes an intelligent move to start moving the people away from the cliff edge and converge away from Crestor as fast as possible. It is now the Dawn's turn. You hear in his chest this gurgling, bubbling growl trying to find its way out as this sucking wound across his chest that has formed this mouth is trying to open up further and look like it wants to roar and scream out, but the insides of what is remaining of Sheriff Dawn are not letting that sound out. And he will take 2 swipes at Nadir with his wings. First one is a miss. Second one hits.
Oh, also he takes 44.
Oh, yes, please.
So 1, 3, 6, 9.
Okay, another 9 damage. All right. Solid. That's going to chip away at him. He hits once. 18 points of bludgeoning damage as this winged hand comes and just collides with Nadir. Nadir makes a strength save and fails. He's knocked 15 feet backwards onto the sand of Crestor and is knocked prone. As Sheriff Dawn then takes one of his new hands and takes the hammer and strikes down one of the drakes, completely scattering it across the sand in a single swoop. Then you see the hands around his throat. A shoulder comes up out of the hole in its neck, as if something is trying to get out of his body. Wolfgang.
What's he doing with another person?
My gosh.
I don't like it. So Wolfgang, he just, like, you see him, like, with the first turn, obviously, you know, mechanically he had that extra attack from his Dread Ambusher, but, like, for the second attack, you see that he's, like, fumbling more. You know, like, he's got his, because he, in the last episode, he bit Sheriff Dawn and sucked some life out of him, which healed him up, but it also gave him kind of like this adrenaline rush. And now, like, after seeing like this thing trying to crawl out of him and like these hands and his lifeless eyes and everything, like that adrenaline rush is kind of getting tamped down.
Yeah.
And so he's loading more into the pistol, and while it's happening, he's like, I'll shoot you, little, you know, and like just kind of like cussing under his breath kind of thing. But like his vision is like shaky while it's happening, because out of his peripheral, he's noticing Elon on the ground, and it's bringing back images from his childhood, like images of, you know, dead people, dead animals he cared for, and he's just trying not to focus on that for now, but it's definitely affecting him, and he's going to fire 2 more times with the pistol.
Okay.
22 to hit.
That'll hit.
13 to hit.
Does not hit.
Okay, so for one of those, it's going to be 8 plus 6. It's going to be 14 points of damage.
Excellent. Okay. Some more hefty strikes on the man. More gunshots ringing out. You can hear with every gunshot the people escaping Crestor yell and scream, hearing gunfire below them. You imagine that they're ducking behind and flinching with every gunshot, not really sure what is happening as they're trying to flee. You feel preternaturally that the animals and even the bugs of the area are fleeing, whatever this is, that this unnatural presence is haunting this area. And you hear, as people are escaping, there is this fluid, lucid state that kind of everyone is slipping into in this combat, as this doesn't feel like any combat you've been in before, where it felt clear lines and it is us versus them, and there's people that are at stake here, not just myself, but there is a town of people trying to escape that need to get free. And you hear the broken alarm tower and a flickering spotlight casts a light on the beach. As walking on the sands is a man too old to be on this earth anymore, a backpack larger than himself. Caden, introduce us to your character.
So you see, like Jake said, an older man, pretty old. He's wearing blue robes, and he has a backpack with pretty wide assortment of things. You're not 100% sure, but you think you see a giant's toe hanging out of the top of it.
The occasional pot and pan clanging together.
Yeah. And he starts hobbling as fast as he can towards you guys. staff in hand.
Following the contact you have been given, you see horror. This creature before you is something your nightmares hadn't even dared to conjure. As these warriors stand before, bloodied and battered, trying to face down this clear evil. And in his chest, within the mouth, you see a glittering purple stone.
How close am I?
We'll call it 50 feet.
Okay. So I'm just going to put myself down here.
Freaking.
Oh, that's a good mini. Wow.
Gosh dang.
Will you allow me to make an amendment to your character sheet?
Yes,
Your walking speed is absolutely not 30.
that's fine. What is it?
It's going to be 25 at
Okay.
the best.
Okay. At full hobble.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to call out Sheriff Don. Oh my lord. And I'm start hobbling. And I'm going to probably just like rummage in my backpack for a second, and I'm gonna pull out this tiny little gemstone, and I'm gonna hold it up to my eye, and then go, whew, and it just a thing of fire just shoots out and just lights up everything in front of me. So I guess that's after I've moved a little bit closer.
Sure.
So I cast a Ganazar's Scorcher.
Ooh. All right. As the flames appear to come from the sand itself, following this gem that you send forward, the flames ignite, and he will make his dex save. That is a 15.
Okay, that's a pass. Okay, that is 14, so 7.
Okay. 7 points of fire damage as you guys see this old man hobble up, summon flames that appear to come from hell itself to attack Sheriff Don Tala'ab. Anything else on your turn, my friend?
I guess I'm gonna go ahead and quicken a spell. Use a couple sorcery points, and I'm also going to cast Lightning Bolt.
Nice.
There you go.
So just another same kind of thing, like, you know, as I'm rummaging through my pack, I find something else and just kind of like, just throw this exactly like that.
Yes.
You know, huge arc of lightning shoots through
It's
him.
truly Fantasia 2000 up in here, where like this Mickey Mouse looking individual just shows up, fire, lightning.
And there's probably a little bit of a dance to my step as I'm doing
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. Like this person appears to be having some fun when he casts spells. Speaking of, I need 2 d20 rolls.
Okay.
Because he's
That
gonna
was a
die.
3,
Okay.
and that was a 14.
All right. Now on a 1, 2, or a 3. Copy that.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay, what did he get for his dex save
Dex
this time?
save. This time fails.
A 25 damage.
Choice. That's the one to fail. Honestly, just a comical amount of pomp in this casting. Fire line, lightning line. This old man comes hobbling up to join you. Jolly, that is your turn. Do you say anything, Lethodus? Lethodus? Goodness gracious.
Probably say, you guys got yourself in quite the pickle, I see.
So I'd imagine that, like, since all this is happening kind of at the same time,
Yeah.
like cinematically, Jolly casts Tasha's caustic, and then he kind of like takes cover behind some rubble or something, and he has this moment where he's just like, Elon, he can't be dead. Not again. And then like That's not.
Not again.
Not for the 5th time.
And
Actually dead for the second time.
yes, similar to Wolfgang, Jolly's kind of having flashbacks, and then he hears like the, and he hears like the women and children screaming or whatever, like, and Jolly's like, we got to do this, and he'll like run out and run towards Sirocco, and then give him a level 1 cure wounds. So that's 12 on him.
Nice.
And he'll probably like point and say like, we have to stop whatever's coming out of him. There's no way that is a good thing. And then Lethargus is like, you got yourself in a pickle. And he's like, yes, this is not exactly a pickle. This is like the pickle.
I must agree. This is not good, old man.
It's a big pickle. Is it not a pickle?
I will cast on you.
It's a prune.
Good night. Goodness gracious. Jolly, that was your turn. Anything on your bonus action?
Nah, he can't do anything on his bonus action.
Okay.
So maybe he'll just go back behind the rubble and get some like partial cover for now.
Okay. Sirocco will do like a good old predator handshake with Jolly, and he says, I need to make some distance.
Very good.
I'll see you. And he will cast at a 2nd level magic missile. As parts of these bloody shards that circle him are shot forward at Sheriff Dawn, dealing 5, 8. 17 points of damage as these 4 fire against him, ripping him up. Okay, solid. Sirocco moves his full 30 away. Nadir, looking pretty heavily battered, will spit his own blood onto the ground, and kind of do like the boxers, like back and forth with his feet, and he'll look at his buddy Sirocco and say, just like old times, eh? I'll see you on the other side. And he'll run forward with his 2 scimitars, and slash at Sheriff Dawn. Big old whiff on the first one, but a crit on the second, dealing a whopping 19 points of damage on that one hit. He cuts out part of the belly of this creature, this nasty, tumorous, almost gelatinous form that is coming out of this former Azamar sheriff that sloughs onto the ground, starting to eat at the sand around it as it turns to that gray flesh and then disintegrate into ash. But in so doing, reveals this purple stone even more, as this stone is probably the size of a size 4 soccer ball, buried in the chest of this person, thrumming, these purple veins growing off of this stone that have embedded and grabbed onto the insides of Sheriff Dawn. You can see the people in front that there are no more innards anymore. You see a foot fall out of the rib cage of Sheriff Dawn, limply hanging in the open air below.
Wait, how did we not notice that big of a stone when he was alive and we were just walking with him?
The stone wasn't there when he was hanging out giving you a tour of Crestor.
So it grew after he was like, it grew inside of him. Oh, dang.
Might be something you need to figure out.
Okay.
But Nadir is closed up on this individual. The people of Crestor continue getting out of harm's way, being led out by Jezri. You can see, oh, you know what? Yeah, appearing back on the edge is Jezri and 3 casters that will send down rains of fire bolts onto Sheriff Dawn as a miss and a miss and another miss and another miss, doing absolutely nothing as all 4 fire bolts rally, people of Crestor. And
You know what, guys? Happy 4th of July.
absolutely right. This is our Independence Day. And it is now Sheriff Dawn's turn.
He takes 8 points of acid.
Ooh, brutal. And he has to make a wisdom save as he's still within.
I mean,
he fails again.
I sure hope so. He's a monster. What kind of wisdom does the guy have?
8 points, you said, Jolly?
8.
And another, oh, daddy. 19
Wow.
from the blood shards again. Oh my gosh. In 2 rounds, y'all have dealt 199 points of damage to the former Sheriff Dawn.
Dang.
And yet, not a flash or grimace of pain on this creature's face. He will take the belly now free. One of his attacks to open the mouth in his chest as 3 rows of teeth, and he will snap his own back as the mouth lunges out to bite Nadir. And that's a nat 20.
That's a Nadir 20.
That is a Nadiritual 20. As 3d12 of damage.
Man. Nadirly beloved.
Nadir had 14 hit points, and with 18 points of damage, begins being consumed by this creature. He will use the remaining 2 actions to begin shoving Nadir's body into itself. Nadir's screams are cut short as he is consumed. You can see parts of his body being augmented the closer it gets to this purple crystal inside Sheriff Dawn's chest. That's Sheriff Dawn's turn. Wolfgang.
That's freaking gruesome. Okay. Wolfgang sees this happening, and he feels like throwing up.
Sirocco fully crying, screaming out in rage.
He just doesn't even know, frankly, what to do. Like, he feels stronger, in this battle. He's grown stronger, but he just feels so weak still. So he's gonna fire twice again. He doesn't know, but this time he's aiming at the stone.
Okay.
In the chest. And he only hits once with 18.
18 will hit the stone.
And then...
What was your other roll?
10. Okay.
2 more gunshots ringing out. You can see the people of Crestor, even still the brave ones coming back, are still flinching at the sounds of gunfire.
8 points of damage.
Okay, to the crystal, you say, huh?
Yep.
Great. Anything else? Bonus actions?
No, that's well, actually, that's a backup. Can I use my bonus action to get a rope out of my backpack?
Free action?
Yeah. Okay. That's it for now. That's all I can do.
Lethargy.
That was absolutely horrifying. Lethargy is going... Well, first of all, tell me. So we're down on the beach.
Yep.
And how far is the cliff up?
The cliff up, I think, was 120 feet.
Okay. It's a ways. Okay. Lethargus, just kind of being in shock at what he just witnessed, is going to say, well, we can't have that. And he's going to grab his staff, and he's going to kind of like waft the staff over this area. And he's going to cast Nathire's Mischief. As drops of molasses start hovering over Sheriff Don and just start dropping and filling the space, a 20-foot cube full of molasses.
What? Okay.
And it's difficult terrain. That's it.
Okay. Another odd one. You'll love to see it, I guess.
How mischievous. You know?
Indeed. That and the there. Fabulous. Okay, so it is now difficult terrain. So his speed is halved by the spirit guardians and then halved again. But he has yet to move.
Well, he's not going to start now.
And he won't anytime soon.
With that, Lethargus is going to hobble away.
Great. Okay. You get so far away. So far away,
Yeah.
dude. Okay, here we go. All right, it is now Sirocco's turn. You see the rage that is built naturally into the orcish race has completely consumed Sirocco, and he is going to channel divinity or divine intervention. I mean, let's see how this goes. And just because it's cinematic, I'm going to give it the advantage. Hope y'all are okay with that
That's-
at home.
You know what? That's fine.
Yeah, this is your hometown, right? I guess that makes sense.
14.
Yep.
That's funny. Is it a
That's
nat-
funny.
0-2. 0-0-2. He does his divine intervention.
Oh, heavens.
Wait,
Yeah, because you were saying.
what?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Wait, I don't understand what
So
happened.
divine intervention is like,
You have
God,
to roll-
we need a miracle.
Under your character level.
Oh.
It's basically impossible.
So it's
mean, yeah.
basically like, God, we need a miracle, and then God splits the Red Sea.
Wow.
Holy.
Dude, Lemon Lester comes up.
I mean, we've got an ocean
Smacks him with
right
his
there.
feet.
Split
I mean-
it right now.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. What do we do? What do we do?
If you need time to think, we could like do someone else's turn and let it brew.
Okay.
Man, this would have been a good time for Caden's character to show up.
Yeah, dang.
The giant's foot comes alive and starts like poking him.
Hey.
Sirocco is going to summon his dark goddess. Channeling his connection to this deity by his own blood, will volunteer his life to summon an angel like the Viking blood eagle exploding out of his back, his ribcage forming wings. His own blood coalesces into this angelic warrior that stands now where Sirocco stood. A celestial made entirely of blood that closes on Sheriff Don and will take 3 attacks on him immediately.
Super cool.
Hit.
But also I cure wounds that
Nat
guy.
20.
That's a spell slot waste.
This great sword in his hand. Yep, sorry, Jolly. That's a 12 on the die. That's a 9 on the die. That's an 11 on the die. This angelic warrior will also do a divine smite. Dang. 49 points of damage. And as a bonus action, cast Mass Healing Word. Jolly and Wolfgang, Nadir is dead. Sirocco is dead. It's just gonna be you two who take this.
Wait a second. We don't have any meat shields in the way. Oh no.
I mean, my AC's like super high, but
I mean, you have a goddess.
yeah.
You both get healed for
As a bonus action. Oh my gosh.
12 points of damage. Healing, rather.
Yes.
And this bloody warrior stands in front of this creature. It is Nadir's turn. Dead. People of Crestor, they'll take some pot shots, I suppose. Well, wisdom save. Failure. They turn around. They just saw a man get turned into a blood angel. On top of that, not a good day. It is now Dawn's turn.
Did you skip me?
No. Didn't you like get all that damage from the acid thing?
Nope, that just automatically happens. We straight up skip Jolly.
That's nice.
Cool. It's no big deal. I'll just lightning shoot him with my lightning launcher.
2 times. You have 2 attacks.
What? That is awesome.
Wiggity what?
First time is a dirty 20.
Hit.
So that is 1d6 plus 4. So that's 9 points of
Plus you can do your extra d6 once per turn.
Yeah, I'll do that at the end.
Okay.
So that's 9 points of lightning, and then 11. So then 4 for the extra d6. And then did we decide that like it just lasts for a minute or something, or how did that work?
It just says you could do it
Like
every
forever,
turn.
which is kind of nuts.
Yeah.
So
Because I
it's-
think that also scales with you as you get higher
So it
level.
says once on each of your turns when you hit a creature with it, you can deal an extra 1d6. So does that mean you have to hit and
Yeah.
then you... Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's
that
basically
turn,
like a supercharged hit
I see.
once per turn.
I see. Okay, cool.
Okay, fabulous. With this punch...
So it's lightning.
That's
launch.
right. Yeah. You're shooting lightning out of your gauntlet. That's how you took him down last time. It was a barrage of these lightning punches, and his legs snap. The broken, nasty appendages that hang from his hips break as his torso is just standing on the shore, his winged hands clawing at the beach as he is on death's door. It is now his turn. Thank you, Jolly.
Yeah.
That was...
And then he takes 2,
Oh, man.
5,
Oh, Spirit Guardians is gone.
8, 11 points of acid.
Whoa.
What the heck?
Did I do that right?
Did you just become like a
4d4?
huge damage dealer, bud?
Yeah, 44.
Wow. So you rolled 3 4s?
I rolled 3 3s and then a 2. So 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 3 is 8, plus 3 is 11.
Math. Learn it, kids.
Dang. Is Jolly useful?
I know. I'm like,
You know?
Jolly dealt a lot of damage this go
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, he's
Dang.
thinking hard.
Okay, well, he's so close to dead, it's not even funny. I'm gonna... Jolly and Wolfgang, you recall something that happened when you fought the dog on the plains.
Stupid freaking...
As its mouth begins to tear open in the torso, connecting with the wound in his neck, tearing his body near in half as he begins to scream. Because you've seen this before, I will give you advantage on your wisdom saving throw.
Great.
Do I have to make one too?
You are the opposite direction. It's in a cone.
Perfect.
18.
Actually, Wolfgang, you are pretty far away. You're 30 feet, huh?
I am 30 feet, yeah. I mean, I got 15 too, so I'm probably fine either way.
Just your boy.
Who's he gonna go for?
I mean, there's a blood warrior angelic right
That's
in front
true.
of him.
He's gonna go for the blood warrior and Jolly.
Yeah.
Blood warrior fails, super fails. What'd you get? 15?
18.
18.
Yes.
Okay.
That advantage really helped.
Yeah. You are going to take half
Cool.
of 8d10 psychic damage.
What?
8d10.
gosh. Owie. Don't worry, Jolly is a...
As its
Pretty
howling rend eviscerates his own body, the muscle and sinew being torn apart by itself, the teeth falling out of the belly mouth of this nightmare. Oh, bad roll. Good for you.
Don't worry, he got 12 hit points back recently. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Actually, that was helpful.
I mean, it was. I'm
very
not.
helpful.
I'm half joking, but I'm not joking.
The only way to kill Jolly is...
26 points of damage
Gosh.
Whoa.
in half to 13.
That was only
That was
26.
a terrible roll.
Only 26, dude.
Wow.
I'm
Kidding
telling you,
me.
3 1s and a 2 on that freaking first set of 4.
That's nuts.
Terrible.
Man, miracles keep happening.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm gonna the blood warrior throws his body in front of this howling scream, using its raw celestial strength to grab the mouth of this nasty creature and try to force it closed as it is screaming out silently. And you feel this concussive wave come over you, Jolly, that should have been enough to kill you instantly. As this angel is being ripped apart, you see the blood turning to liquid coming off of his body. And you see the connection to whatever deity Sirocco was bound to begins to lose its connection. And falling to the ground, Wing collapses. Wing turns to ash, leaving behind this gray, gnarled hand that turns to this gray flesh and then to ash. And the body starts to fall apart over and over. And you see left in this pile a gold star, 2 scimitars, and 5 armbands.
No more purple stone.
And a purple stone.
Ooh, it's Christmas.
He's dead.
Dead.
Lethargus is going to hobble as quick as he can over to these remains.
Okay. You guys see this old, decrepit man begin to move to where you see these 2 drakes turn on you to face you.
Oh, I don't want any trouble. I just need to investigate that a little bit.
Give me animal handling.
Okay. Yeah, and I get down on their level and I'm like speaking to them like they're people. Dirty 20.
They both kind of like tilt their heads like dogs do when they see something that they don't really understand but aren't necessarily afraid of, and don't make any moves.
Can I roll an insight check to see if they're like cool with me passing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
You see that the blood angel will take his great sword and put it onto his back, and he will bow to you and Wolfgang. And
Wolfgang bows back, like he's kind of stumbling, but it's almost more of a like a clasped hand, like thank you, you know.
The angel sprouts these wings of dripping blood, and he goes to fly away, but instead of taking flight, the blood just falls away into a puddle below him.
Probably on Jolly.
That's cool.
Absolutely
That's cool.
covering Jolly.
Yeah.
But
tidal wave.
below is Sirocco's mangled corpse, and below him, where he was standing over, is Elon's body with his chest concaved.
Yeah, so like Jolly, the second he sees Dawn's body just like turn to ash, he wouldn't even have like noticed anything. He would have just like crumpled to his hands and knees and just like sobbing like uncontrollably.
Yeah. Wolfgang stumbles over and just collapses to his knees next to Elon, and he kind of has mixed emotions. Like, part of him is like, Elon, and he's like shaking him. Initially he's like, Elon, you poor boy, please. And then he starts like, he like grabs him and starts like shaking him. He's like, you must get up, like the other times. You have to get up. And then he's like shaking him, almost like pounding him into the ground a little bit. And then he kind of just collapses a little bit and loses his energy. And he kind of just like puts a hand on his cheek and he's like, oh, I hope the next life is much kinder for you. You did not deserve this.
At that, Jolly hearing that, he'll like lift up his head and he'll like kind of shout to the nothing, Cyril? Cyril! Are you there?
You don't hear anything. Wolfgang, as you are shaking Elon, you see that the pendant that he wore kind of falls off of his neck and onto the beach.
He picks it up. Remind me what was on it.
Yeah, describe it for us.
So it was a golden circle, and kind of suspended in the middle of it is a blue, like ocean-colored, sea-colored gemstone, and that's just like a necklace that he wore.
You recall it being his spell casting focus. So there is some magic to it.
Okay. For now, he just kind of clasps it to his chest and just sits there staring at Elon for, I mean, he's out of it for a second.
Yeah.
Eventually he will kind of like snap out of it and look at this wizard and say,
Who's currently investigating the remains of Sheriff Don.
so he looks up past Elon, because I'm imagining Don passed him, and he says, thank you. You were a miracle when we needed it. Our friend had just passed, and I don't know if me and Jolly could have lasted. I'm sorry that I did not greet you earlier, but thank you.
So just what would have happened is Lethargy, seeing them have such an emotional reaction to this, because I had no idea what was going on, would have abandoned the search a little bit and would have kind of circumvented the two drakes, and probably would have walked over and like put a hand on Wolfgang or Jolly's shoulder and just said, there, son. So, and then you say all that and say, well, no need to greet me. You've just greeted me, and cat's got my tongue.
Yes, it's a crazy thing about a tragedy, but it's end of the day, you were there for us, and I appreciate it. I hope that, we can have more time to get to know each other later, but for now, and he looks around the town, or basically the cliff side and beach and shore, with just essentially just splinters of wood and just brick and stone. He's like, I think that the time for talking is later. We might have some farewells to finish, and some people to help for now.
I can respect that. Let me ask you one question.
Did you not hear that I asked for a moment of peace?
Oh, yes. I'm here looking for Don Talaboob.
Oh, Tala Harb, it's, you see this guy that, with crazy wings and everything? That's him.
Ah.
Right there. Yeah, that son of a gun. He's dead, luckily. I mean, for us. Is this good for you too? Hopefully.
Neither good or bad, I guess.
What was your business with the late sheriff?
You know, the little goblin that I talked to on the road told me that I might be able to find a certain
Other goblin. Yeah, your contact wasn't Sheriff Don.
No.
Your contact was another goblin that was in the service of Sheriff Don.
Ah,
That had some information about these purple rocks.
okay.
Wait a second. It was a goblin that we shanked in that warehouse, right? So you...
That you
do-
ate.
We remember it differently. Just kidding.
My, what
potatoes.
red eyes you have.
Oh, yes, it's a family thing. Anyway, so you said something... Does he tell me about the goblin thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, I
Oh.
met a goblin, and
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but he's dead. He had it coming, but he is dead. And I am so sorry. I know that we just met, but, I wish that for your favor of helping us, I could give you more than bad news.
it's not particularly bad news. I don't know that I really cared for him, but...
Hey, I know what mourning feels like. You don't need to keep it in.
Yes. And I, put my arm around him. yes.
You can't put your arm around him because of his backpack.
I'm just reaching very awkward side hug.
And you do, and you touch a face, like something squishy. And as you look, it's an orc head just dangling off the back of this backpack.
Oh, this is bumming me out in a very different way.
Don't worry, it's not real. And then he's going to go and start investigating.
Okay. Yeah, and Wolfgang, he's are any of the villagers at the wall? I know you kind of said that they
There were a
ran.
couple, but they were pretty spooked. But since the gunshots have stopped and the magic was stopped being cast, and things sound resolved, Jezri came up and kind of surveyed the area, and she yells back to the people, "The sheriff is dead!" And people start gathering at the top.
Yeah, Wolfgang's just gonna lie on the beach, looking up, kind of covering his eyes.
Long live the heroes of Crestor! And the people start cheering, and
Except for the one that died, and the three that died.
Yeah, can Jolly think about what he might know about funeral rites or burying or anything like that for them?
that's kind of a tough one, right? Nobody's from here.
That's
Well, I mean
true.
specifically for Elon, for Nadir, and for Sirocco.
Sure. So Sirocco, maybe in your firelight chat, could have talked about kind of the
Yeah.
burial rites that the people of the Rockir believe that they belong to the sand and are buried in the sand.
Well, because they drink embalming fluid. So they obviously
Yeah.
do that,
Yeah, I mean, so
There's nothing
okay.
really of Nadir.
Is there
Sirocco's
nothing left of him?
nothing good.
That's so sad.
And Sirocco is,
A puddle of blood.
no, he's a body. He just has the back of his rib cage opened.
Like normal. Okay, cool.
What about Elon? Anything there?
I don't know if you really knew. He's from an island chain. fairly primitive, but conservative of sorts. I don't know if you would know burial rites.
I think Jolly would
he
probably...
was a sea elf.
Yeah, Jolly would probably just, like, find some sort of wood to put the body on and then just, like, try and walk on that really long dock. Is that dock that's still there?
Oh, no. Not
okay.
at all.
Okay,
Yeah,
so he would
absolutely
take some of the dock
obliterated.
then
Yeah.
and push Elon out as far as he can. He can't swim, so it's not very far, but...
Wolfgang would help you with that. He would hold on to the focus, though.
You can feel the sea receive him. You feel the tide coming out as low tide begins to come on, and it takes the plank with Elon's body easier than it maybe should have. You see that the waves begin to crest and crash less often as his body on this plank of wood, the sea elf warlock is sent to the fathoms. And that's where we're going to end our episode. Folks at home, thanks for tuning in. This has been the Pact Boon. Monument Studios for the tunes. Holy smokes, that was good. That
The
lined
two
up really
gunshots,
good.
it was like two gunshots. Boom, boom.
That was really good.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It makes a difference, y'all. You should give the subscription.
For sure.
Use code BetterDM for a discount and also to support the show. Roll and Play Press. Be on the lookout for our unboxing video. We got some one-shot wonders that we're going to be putting out. We're going to do some of these one-shots to show you what they're all about. We're going to post them on our live feed so you can see those as well. The Dungeon Master Toolkit, freaking incredible. It's got some really great tips on how to use story better and some mechanics that you can introduce at your game table. But the show could not be the same without the miniatures provided by Painting Phantasms. This demented Sheriff Dawn is truly the stuff of horrors. And Charlie Reeder, your wife is a better woman than you deserve because no one should go to bed next to someone who can create that. It's insane.
It's like, honestly, like one of the coolest minis I've seen
Yep.
in person ever. Like,
You too can play with these minis at your game table. Frighten and terrify your players and also be the heroes of Crestor. Folks, share us everywhere. If you enjoyed the show, please leave a review. Share it with your friends. I think we're having a good time, and I would love for more people to have a good time with us. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you when we see you.